Hello everybody, what is up? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Victoria Rose, and this is my wonderful husband,
Hello.
Christopher. So Christopher and I have been together for a while now, and you've probably seen our specials on Truly. I'll link our reactions right up here and down below, but we just about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago now, got married.
We're married now!
In case I haven't talked about it enough.
Definitely haven't heard it yet.
Christopher and I got married on May 13th, 2023. It was really just our dream wedding. It was so fantastic. And a lot of you have been asking questions about the whole ceremony. We have it on video, we have photographs, and now that we have some of the photographs back and we're a little more settled into married life, we're here to tell the whole story. There are a lot of great details, a lot of juicy details. I'm excited to dive into all of this, but before we do, I have a word from our wonderful sponsor over at Catch Beauty. Hey there, beautiful. I want to show you something that has completely upgraded my hair removal process in my transition. It is the Catch Beauty at-home IPL laser hair removal device, and trust me when I say this is a game changer. As a woman with transgender experience, I feel like we, or at least I, have needs of hair removal that go above and beyond that of the average person's regime. I have spent hours and easily thousands of dollars on salon laser, and I knew that if I wanted to get my whole body smooth, I needed to take matters into my own hands. Thanks to Catch Beauty, I can get salon quality results at home for a fraction of the price. It's super easy to use. I just slide their handset over my skin and the IPL technology does its magic. It's safe, effective, and it leaves my skin feeling incredibly smooth. Take a look at these before and after shots. The results are unbelievable. I used to really struggle with razor burned ingrown hairs. Thanks to Catch Beauty, I don't have those issues anymore, and I feel confident to wear whatever I want and feel comfortable in my own body. And guess what? Catch Beauty now offers even more amazing products to enhance your hair removal routine. Make sure that you check out their hair removal spray and their growth inhibitor creams. The spray is gentle and effective. The growth inhibitor cream does its job. Catch Beauty has simplified my beauty routine and saved me so much time and money. Visit their website at catchbeauty.com/discount/rose or click the link in my description and use the code ROSE at discount for money off your order. Thank you so much, Catch Beauty, for sponsoring this portion of today's video, and without further ado, baby, let's talk about our wedding. Okay, so I have previously made a video all about our engagement. I'll link it once again right up here and down below, bitch. Christopher took me out to the Grand Canyon. It was just so unexpected. I had no idea he was gonna propose to me. We went on a road trip just all across the country from the East Coast to the West, and it was just the most special time ever. I
was so nervous when I brought you out to propose to you. I still to this day can't believe I kept the secret. If anyone who knows me knows that I tell a secret instantly. I'm very, very bad at keeping them. And so the fact that that secret I could keep after telling your whole family and all that, unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was such a perfect time, and it was a spot that I knew that I loved at the Grand Canyon. I was getting to show it to her, and I just, the fact that you didn't know made it so special. And I
had no idea. I just really wasn't expecting it. Like,
and all the time in the car and stuff, it was just so, it was so much quality time. For 2 weeks, it was just us and no one else. And
you know, a lot of people were like, oh, like, you're going on a road trip across the country, like, good luck. Someone's coming home in a body bag, like, and we just were like, I mean, we live together, like, we know what it's like with each other, and it was just a great time. It was one of the best times of my entire life.
We just watched Disney movies and like Seinfeld reruns.
Yeah, for sure. Well, like, played it on the speaker. I watched them.
Yes, I was not watching.
He drove the whole time.
I did not let her drive.
Yeah, no. But so we had such a great engagement, and we spent a long time talking about what we wanted for our wedding.
When we decided we needed to find a venue, we started looking online. We didn't want to pay all this money for some huge wedding venue. I feel like people spend way too much money on their weddings. And so we were like, let's get creative. Let's look online, see if we can rent a place. And so we looked on Airbnb and Vrbo, and we found this perfect you definitely could call it a mansion. I mean, it was about,
it was a mansion.
10 bedrooms, huge living rooms, huge kitchens, beautiful outdoor space, and it's so much cheaper, and everyone gets to sleep there. That's in the wedding party, which was, because the night before we got to stay at the house and work together to set it up. I mean, it was honestly, I would recommend to everybody now to do something like that.
100%.
Cost effective and really like intimate and fun.
Yes. You know, if you look online for wedding venue, whatever, a lot of times it's like at least 10 grand to rent out a space for one event. And that's not including anyone's stay. If people are coming from across the country or any other, like, it's not paying for any of that. We paid less than that total for the venue, and we all got to stay there. Like, it was such a great idea.
No hotel costs or anything either, and it was half the price. Like, it
exactly. Anything wedding is just so marked up. So that's a huge suggestion with like just anything you can do either yourself or not listed as a wedding. Do that. Do it.
If you have any design savvy whatsoever, do that, and it will come out way better than anybody else can plan it.
So we paid for our own wedding in addition to our family members contributing, which was really a lifesaver. We couldn't have done it without them. Yeah. Christopher actually sold a large portion of his Pokemon collection.
It's so funny that that's the case, but yeah.
And that paid for the venue. It's so crazy. That actually kind of reignited his love for collecting Pokemon cards, which was sort of special as well for the both of us. But yeah, it meant a lot to me because those cards, I sold some of mine as well, and so I understand, like, there's a lot of sentimental value in that, and we were both willing to part with it in order to pay for our venue. And again, it was just the perfect venue.
Granted, with the price tag attached to those Pokemon cards, they became cardboard very quickly. Like, they very quickly. We made a lot of money on those. So I was like, we'll pay for the wedding with these.
100%.
Really big deal.
Yeah. So we paid for a lot of it ourselves, but not even touching like how much our families helped.
Oh, gosh.
His mother building the arch and paying for my flowers and so much more with food and just everything. My mother paying for my dress and the booze and like your aunt, our aunt, I guess, Brooke, making our cake. Just so many, our local restaurant, which we'll talk about in a bit, like coming together to really make this just the perfect wedding. People spend, we've already said this, people spend like minimum 30 grand on a wedding, and like, that's like a significant down payment on a house, and we're in the market, so that's not happening.
Not happening.
We had a relatively small wedding. We had about like 30 guests or so, and it was all family. It was literally only family besides my two closest friends, Jill and Jess, and they're also Chris's friends. Like, it's been since high school,
it was
so
fun.
Yeah, a lot of backstory. And in fact, Jill was my ring bearer. So
for food, we decided that, one, wedding food is really boring most of the time, like the little filet mignon and mashed potatoes on a plate.
Yeah, or just steak or fish.
Boring.
Yeah.
And we were at our favorite breakfast nook one day when we were walking in thinking about who we wanted to get to do our food. We saw a catering sign on the outside and we went, okay, let's check it out. We reached out to them, and it was just such a great idea after we got done with all of it. I mean, they were so kind, they were so nice. We had the weirdest wedding food.
Yeah.
And like, we had brunch for our wedding.
Yeah, we did.
With like eggs Benedict and stuffed French toast. I mean, it was off the chain.
So good. We have, like, oh my God. We had 3 options. We had, eggs Benedict option that was actually, they altered it, instead of it being on top of an English muffin or like a Portuguese
a Portuguese bolo usually.
It was on top of like a potato like hash basket.
Yeah, they deep fried a basket of hash browns.
Insane.
Like,
and then we had strawberry stuffed French toast. And then, I mean, not everyone wants brunch, so we had a 3rd option, and that was chicken Elijah, which was like chicken, peppers, onion,
no
gravy,
shade,
whatever.
No shade to anybody that got that, but it was a little boring.
I know.
It actually looked pretty good though.
Our last name is Saint Germain, so our signature cocktail was some Prosecco with Saint Germain in it. Highly recommend. Saint Germain is like an elderflower liqueur, so it's like floral and sweet, a little like almost honey undertone. It's so good. So some of that in Prosecco. And then later on in the night, we had a second kind of secret cocktail, which was
Yeah, the Hennessy lemonade in Saint Germain was the closer.
So good.
So good. So good. Like 2 parts lemonade, 1 part Hennessy, 1 part Saint Germain.
You know what's crazy?
Crazy
we
good.
actually have all of those things here, so maybe we should make some later tonight.
Make it tonight.
We'll see.
Tonight?
Because we had such a small wedding party, we didn't want to have like a bunch of groomsmen and bridesmaids up on the altar, you know, because there's 30 people. Otherwise, it would be half the audience would be up on stage. So we had a best man, a maid of honor, and a ring bearer. So my maid of honor was my sister. My ring bearer was Jillian, and actually our officiant was my older brother. And who was your best man?
Yeah, my best man was my little sister.
Yes, who you've also seen on this channel.
She rocked a suit, I gotta tell you.
She did. She rocked the shit out of that suit. I'll put up a picture right here. She rocked that suit.
Crazy.
One tradition that we did want to incorporate into our wedding was hand fasting. We're not really big on religion. We're not super big on a lot of general traditions and like wedding culture, but we really liked the idea, especially I really liked the idea of hand fasting. I have been a spiritual person my whole life, so has he, and I've practiced paganism and explored paganism for a long, long time, and the significance of hand fasting was really important to me, so I made the hand fasting cord myself.
So beautiful.
I wove it myself, thank you, and I added some rose quartz to the ends, and so Adam had it looped around our hands, and we got to tie. You'll see in the video, we pulled it apart, and tied the knot, literally.
There were some people in our family that were upset about what we did the night before, which was sleep in the same bed. We slept in the same bed.
They'd probably be upset about what we did the night before.
Okay, that's... Pause that. We're not ones to abide by every tradition. I mean, there were a lot of things in our wedding that we kind of went, we don't need that. But it was especially the sleeping the night before. We were going to sleep in the same bed.
I'm not sleeping in a separate bed.
Now,
I have separation anxiety.
But then the morning of, we all had breakfast together. I didn't see her again the rest of the day. So it wasn't like I was seeing her the day before. We were just in the same bed the night before. I mean, what, were we gonna sleep in different rooms? I don't get that.
I don't love that. I don't love that. I get it, like, you know, live your fantasy, but that's not really my tea. That leads me into the next day where we woke up, yes, in the same bed, whatever, and we went downstairs. We had our family down there already, a beautiful kitchen. I mean, the whole venue was beautiful, but beautiful kitchen. So we had some coffee, I had a bagel, just sat at the table, had a light breakfast. Very important to all my let's focus. Very important to all of my brides out there. Please, I know you want to be skinny. I know you want to fit into that dress and stun everyone with your Nina Sayers or whatever body. Eat breakfast. Please. You will pass out.
Please do.
You will pass, like, you have to eat breakfast. So I ate breakfast, we had like some family time, and we kissed goodbye, and I was locked away in my chambers. In my chambers being our bedroom that had like these doors that locked. Chris was all around. I did not leave my room until it was time to go to the altar. The
morning of, I was very nervous.
Yeah.
I hadn't been nervous the whole time. It was weird because I was like, oh, I'm nervous about like making sure that everything goes well and whatever, but like overall I was pretty chill about the reception and all that. Oh boy, did I get very nervous the morning of. Extremely nervous the morning of.
You were more nervous than me. I heard from Corey 100%. As well.
So we decided that we were going to rehearse our vows beforehand and then give them without having note cards. We thought that that was a really nice touch, and also a little bit more from the heart, less reading, you know, and it was also less managing. We didn't have to have things in our pockets. But we had to memorize them. And so I get nervous in public speaking situations, and I thought I was gonna mess it up. I really did think I was gonna mess it up. But the second I saw her walk down the aisle, it didn't matter anymore. I mean, I was still nervous, but the context changed so much the second I saw you.
Personally, I was pretty chill. I don't know why. It was until like 2 hours before the actual ceremony. Up until then, cool as a cucumber. I don't know why. I'm like a very anxious person. I really need to have control of everything. Like I need to know how everything goes. I don't know. I really truly don't know what it was. I was not a bridezilla. I really expected myself to be, because I know it's a shocker, but it can be a little high maintenance. But I really, it was just like, well, whatever happens, happens. I think partially because we had such a small wedding party that it was our family. So anything that goes wrong, it's not like I'm not marrying King Charles. Ew.
Oh.
But like, you know what I mean? It's not televised. So like it doesn't, and regardless, it just was a special moment between us. Anyway, I wasn't nervous. I was mostly excited for my mother, my gay mother, John, to come to the venue and do my hair. I went up to my chambers and he did my hair. He did all of our hair actually. And it was really sweet because we had such a gorgeous bathroom in our suite. Gorgeous bathroom. So we had all the girls getting ready together. It was really special. Like we had, after a couple hours like waiting and stuff, we had a couple of mimosas and it was so nice. We did our makeup and gabbed, and what was really special to me as well was my two closest friends, Jess and Jill, and now Corey as well, but like my old time friends, Jess and Jill, we got ready together for prom in a little bathroom, like cramped and trying to do our makeup in the mirror. And so many years later, we're getting ready in a bathroom together for my wedding, and it just like made me so happy. I
will say one of my favorite pictures from the wedding is a disposable picture of Victoria in curlers and like face whited out in the beginning stages of makeup. Like it was way early stage. It looks wild. I was getting ready with my sister and at that time boyfriend, but now fiance. That happened quick.
Yeah.
And it was fun. I mean, we got a chance to I haven't really ever done pocket squares and never really steamed shirts. Like I haven't been that fancy before, but Matt was able to come in and make sure that happened. Corey and I had this awesome photo shoot where we were getting our suits on together, and
yeah, I had that with my sister too.
It was really great. And I mean, most of the day was me downstairs trying to get the house together to make sure that the event was going good. I mean, Victoria and I's days were very different in the early stages.
Yes.
She was in her room getting pretty, and I was making sure that the event went off. Like they were very...
I had no idea. I think that's probably a big part as to why I wasn't worried, because I'm the bride. Like, no one's coming to me with the problems if they know it's good for them. If they have any like societal understanding, no one's coming to me with the problems. So if there is a problem, they're probably going to put extra effort in for me to not know.
Yeah.
For the wedding, we did hire a professional photographer who took such amazing photos, but we also had multiple disposable cameras throughout the venue. So people throughout the night before and getting ready could take disposable camera photos, and I'm so glad we did. We ordered doubles, so we're gonna have like, give some out to family members and put some in a scrapbook. But when the photographer got there, I was just about done getting ready. I hadn't done my lashes yet. And so she got some pictures of me getting ready. She got some pictures of like little fine details like these earrings that I'm wearing today and the necklace that matches. And in case you're wondering, I did do the something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. So my something old was my great-grandmother's, or maybe great-great-grandmother's, handkerchiefs that was in my bouquet. I'll put a picture up right here. It was really sweet that we were able to incorporate those. My something new were these wonderful earrings that Christopher got me right before, and the necklace as well, right before the wedding. My something borrowed were a pair of diamond studs for my mother, and my something blue was my garter. As the ceremony drew closer, how did you feel?
I was really nervous until people started showing up.
I was the opposite.
So I went downstairs. I didn't know that wasn't really tradition, but I went downstairs and I saw everybody. I mean, as people were coming in, I was welcoming them, seeing how they were doing, chatting about stuff, and it was nice. I mean, I actually really thought that was a special thing. Some people were like, oh, you're already downstairs? I was like, yeah, why not? I got a chance to chat with everybody, and so honestly, talking to people made it easier for me to calm my nerves because I wasn't constantly obsessing about my vows. And so that was nice, but I gotta tell you, the second we started rounding people up and the music started playing, it was like, oh God, it's happening. It's happening right now.
Yeah.
I'm getting married right now. It was crazy.
I really wasn't nervous. Like, I had written my vows, I had been going over them in my head, and I knew that even if I forgot them, I'd be able to make something up on the spot just because, like, I love you so much and I have so much to say about you. But I was able to remember all of them, thank goodness. I remember maybe 30 minutes to an hour before I left my chambers, as I kept calling it, my room. The photographer was elsewhere and it was just me and my mom. And I started getting really nervous, and I was like, oh my God, I'm like getting really nervous. And I started talking to her, just like, of course, like saying like, thank you so much for everything and always taking care of me. And yeah, it was just a really, really special moment. I started feeling that way mostly because she came into my room and I could hear the music and people, like I could hear like the voice of my aunt downstairs, and like I was like, oh my God, like it's really like about to happen, right? My stomach's like gets butterflies right now even thinking about it. Yeah, and so he waited at the altar for me. I walked down the stairs. No one could see me yet. Me and my girls all walked downstairs and lined up. We chose the song "Merry Ground of Life" from Joe Hisashi from Howl's Moving Castle as the walking down the aisle song. It's really, really special to me. And yeah, without further ado, here is our wedding video. So that was the video. I'm so happy we have it on film. Thank you so much to our friend Jess who got that on camera. So funny because my brother was like, everyone put away your phones because we have professionals for that, but no one told him that Jess was going to be recording. So he was like, everyone turn off your phones. How did you feel when you saw me walking down the aisle?
Oh gosh. When I saw you walking down the aisle, I understood why you're not supposed to see the dress beforehand. You're not supposed to see your future wife beforehand. It made so much sense to me. I mean, it's really hard to explain the feeling. It was jaw-dropping. Time stopped. It really did. I mean, seeing you get down to the bottom of the stairs and turn and just, you looked perfect. You just looked perfect, and yeah, instantly started crying. Instantly, and then continued to cry throughout the whole thing. I don't know if you could tell.
Me too.
And so yeah, your dress was perfect. Everything about it was perfect. You just looked incredible, and I could just tell how happy you were, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful.
When I turned the corner, I had a similar feeling where I could, out of my peripherals, I could see both sides of our family just like watching and everything, and it didn't make me nervous. It just made me feel like, wow, this is really like real. This is really official. Like, and
this is our wedding.
Yeah, seriously. Okay. And it just felt right.
I would agree with that. It just did feel like it was time. It felt like the time had come. It's interesting because the nerves washed away, I think, for that reason.
I agree.
Because suddenly it was like, we're getting married now.
So our ceremony ended, and the song that was playing was the Somewhere Over the Rainbow by, I want to say like Isaac so-and-so. I'll put the name up right here. It was just so wonderful. So everyone got to have a little cocktail hour, and we, as well as our immediate family, went up to the second floor and we took photos. Before we all took photos though, we did something that I'm really happy that we did, and I've heard a lot of people suggest, is before taking the photos, before, you know, posing and all this kind of stuff, we took like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Just
to go into our room and talk to each other.
Yeah.
And we had a little sip of Hennessy.
We did.
But we just got to spend some time with each other, and it was really, really special. I'm so beyond happy. That was like my favorite part of the wedding.
Having that moment afterwards, because the rest of the day just gets swept up.
Yeah.
Because you're talking to people the whole time. You're engaging with people. It's just busy, busy, busy from that moment onward. And so getting those few minutes to just sit and chat were just so special. I mean, especially because you're walking into a room, you look at each other and you're like, we're married now. Like,
yeah,
it's a really surreal moment.
Like, you're my husband.
Like, it's real. Like,
yeah.
Legally, we are now married,
yeah.
And we just did that in front of our whole family.
Yes.
It's done. Like, it's amazing.
Changed in the Social Security office.
Yeah, like, we are officially husband and wife.
Yes.
It's hard to explain it other than that. There's some gravity. There's like a gravity you feel.
So yeah, we had our pictures taken. I'll put some of them up right here with like our family, or on the spiral staircase, or from the spiral staircase. Something I will say is that it was really hot that day. It was May 13th, which I knew it was going to be a gamble. It was going to be either really hot, really cold in the middle. It could be horrible allergies. Luckily, my allergies were okay, but bitch, it was hot.
It peaked at 86 degrees in May. The next time it was that hot was June.
It was so
July.
hot.
I think July was the first time. It took over a month for it to get that hot again.
Yes. And my favorite photo of, I think, well, one of my top 5 for sure, top 3, was the photo right here of us on the spiral staircase. And that photo, like, I knew it was going to be the best. I knew as we were taking it, because I've seen like on their website that like other people post there and it looks great. But it was so hot. It was the very, very top of the building. No AC at that point. So hot. I'm in my full dress, which is, what, 40 pounds?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
all the heat was trapped in this little silo at the top of the mansion.
Oh my God. It was, I mean, it was, again, fantastic, but it was to the point where afterwards she was like, do you want to like touch up your makeup really quick? Because my eyebrows were melting.
Dripping.
And this is with like setting spray, powder, bacon, like layers and layers, creams, powders, contour. Like after our photos were done, we went out to dinner, and your sister announced us to Build Me Up Buttercup, which you said recently, you made a great point that we made our own playlist for like the dinner and afterward, but especially for the dinner, he was like, what did you say about our playlist?
Yeah, I listened to the playlist just the other day, and I thought, there's a lot of songs about breakup and like losing people on the playlist. And if you listen to Build Me Up Buttercup, it's a song about why do you build me up just to let me down. It's a song about being let down horribly.
Yeah, we have a lot of songs on that playlist that are sort of like that, but just like love songs. Also, I feel like old jazzy love songs.
It was the vibe more than anything.
It was for sure the vibe. And they both of our sisters gave speeches. And that made us both sob. Obviously, it was just...
But we couldn't see anything.
Oh my God! Okay,
so...
we had... Okay, oh my God. Our table setting was white. Like, just the tablecloth. Everyone else had a dark green runner, because that was our color. It was dark green. But it was just a white tablecloth.
Not a cloud in the sky.
And that was even, I think, before we even got our food. So... sun directly, like we had a tent, but the sun was shining from behind us. So it was on our table, bright as the sun. And so I'm literally like, because I can't see anything. And I wanted to I kept wanting to be like, can we stop? Because I can't see and I wanted to like soak in the moment, but whatever. But you know, that really fades to the back of the memory.
Oh yeah. I had transition lenses on, and so I had to take my glasses off, and so not only was I basically blind, I was also blinded by the sun, so any pictures if we have a picture, we'll put it here, but like, I couldn't see. Also,
we're not getting wedding photos with transition lenses.
Well, that was the point. So I was like, I have to, but I didn't want to. A little bit after they got a few pictures, I did put my glasses back on, though.
Yeah.
To finish the speeches. I was like, you've gotten enough pictures. I'm not going to be blinded anymore.
That's true. Well, you put your glasses back on, and you also took the lifts out because I made him wear... Okay, listen.
I blacked this out of my memory.
Listen. So I'm 5'9", he is like 5'11", 6 foot. And I wore heels because it's my wedding. And I also, like, the dress was just long enough to where like it needed like minimum inch or 2. And so I wore like maybe 3-inch heels, and I was insecure about that. And so I had him wear lifts in his shoes to be taller than me, and he was. And he was such a good sport about it. It was so uncomfortable.
Here's the thing. She got me lifts, but the lifts wouldn't fit in my shoes without ripping the leather of my shoes, because my shoes are like fit really well on purpose.
They're gonna eat me up.
And so I couldn't put the lift in the shoe. I had to put the razor of the lift in the shoe with all the divots and holes to connect to the other. There were tangible holes and like divots in my foot after the ceremony.
Got great pictures though.
I was in so much pain. Now granted, should I be complaining when she was wearing 3-inch heels the entire night and didn't take them off and was bleeding by the time she was done? Probably
I did
not.
actually have a crazy blister.
Probably not. I shouldn't be complaining. But granted.
He's a man.
I'm a man.
Oh my God. Okay. After the speeches, after dinner and everything, we all went inside, and let me tell you, the one unexpected funny moment, I got a question I'll put up right here, like what was one like kind of funny unexpected thing, was that after, it's funny in retrospect, in the moment, I went to go hug my aunt, and as I do that, see my collarbones pop out, it's pushing the strap, and the strap just pops off. I had taken my dress to a seamstress before because the straps were like made, like literally maybe a millimeter, because this was made to my measurements, like this dress was made for me. And it was just maybe a millimeter too long, so I was like, take it in a little. It pops off. I almost screamed. However, I was wise enough, ladies, to pack my sewing emergency kit. So I look at him, eyes with desperation, and I say, my strap broke. And he goes, okay, we gotta go upstairs. And so we go upstairs, and I'm like trying so hard to just be chill. I'm really stressed out because it's the only time I've been like freaked out. And I was like, it's fine. It's fine, it's fine. And I was like sewing it silently onto my thing. And as I'm doing it, like I finished sewing it on, and I like stopped for a second to see how it fits, and it's not on, like it's uneven. And I was like, what the fuck? And I looked, instead of sewing the strap onto the bodice, she had sewn little teeny tiny clear plastic snaps, and I didn't see them at all. So thank God she did, because I could just pop it back. But like I got my seam ripper. I was like, okay, thank God. So I undid my sewing, but it was a really big disaster for 5 minutes. You have to imagine this from my perspective. I'm up in the room looking at her, trying to calm her down as she's crying, messing around with it. And all of a sudden, she does one sew, it doesn't work, she gets it down, she gets it ready to go, and then it's just about good. And all I see is her grab the seam ripper and start tearing it apart. I'm like, no, you had it. Like, I think she's freaking out and she's gonna like throw the dress. I was like, my character. I was like, oh, this is a nightmare. Meanwhile, everyone's waiting downstairs for us to do our first dance. So everyone's just standing in the living room. Well, I had a broken strap. No one blamed us. But it was just like, everyone goes, is everything okay? Some people thought we were going upstairs for other reasons. Yeah, no, we weren't. Yeah, did they really? There were a few people that came to me afterwards, and I was like, "Yeah, a strap broken." They went, "Oh, we just thought you couldn't wait." So once that fiasco was solved, we had our first dance, which was to "Everyone's Got Something." After we got engaged, my phone connected to his Bluetooth in his car, and it played a song which I thought I had never heard before. Apparently, it was the first song in my Spotify likes, and it was that song. Very great. I recommend it. Go listen to it if you haven't. Then we had the garter removal and the bouquet toss. Apparently, normally you're supposed to like remove the garter and then do like the bouquet toss, and then whoever, the bridesmaid that like catches the bouquet, the groomsman puts the garter on.
No.
Not the groom, the best man.
The person who catches the garter.
Oh, yeah, garter
is supposed to put it on the person who catches the bouquet, because they're supposed to be a bunch of single people.
But it's all family. We were like, we're not doing that.
Everyone was married. We're not doing, no.
No. But so we did the garter removal, and Chris thought that he had to remove both. I had two, like one to keep on like for later, and then one like higher up. And he went under, removed it with his teeth, and so we're listening to, what is it, Forget Me Nots is playing, and he's under my dress, and I'm like so embarrassed. I mean, like, I'm in front of my aunts and my cousins who like, we're not like, my side of the family is not like the parties. So I'm like so mad at my bouquet in front of my face, and he's like, Forget Me Nots.
And I had some trouble getting it off because I tried to get both.
Yeah, he sure did. And he did. You got both. And then, yeah, I did the bouquet toss, and my sister fought my friend Jess for that bouquet bid. She got it. She got it.
So one of the more important things for me was to get a picture with my grandmother. So my grandmother is 93 years old, and it's a blessing that she was here for our wedding. Granted, she is a juggernaut, so I don't know, like, she keeps on, she just got over a heart condition at 93. Who does that? So I thought, you know, it's really important that we get a great picture. Notoriously hates pictures, but I asked her, Graham, I have one request for you. I have one wedding wish, and it is that you dance with me. But I did pick her favorite song, Purple Rain. Now, Purple Rain is very long. It's a very long
it really
song.
is. But
didn't realize that. But, oh, it was so cute. I got her out on the dance floor, and she asked me, she goes, well, how do you dance? Like, what are you supposed to... So cute. So I taught her kind of just to, like, bounce back and forth, just how to, like, sway back and forth. We kind of did, like, the spinning a little bit. And she's older, so I didn't want, like, we're not doing any spins. There's no surprises.
Don't make your knees touch your elbows.
Hey! And so... we didn't need to do any of that craziness. And so it was so cute because she was nervous at first and she hates being the center of attention, but got a chance to dance with her. And then after a while she warmed up and we talked, and it was really special. And we made sure that the photographer got as many pictures as possible. And so there's all these wonderful pictures of my Graham and I dancing, which I'm gonna cherish forever.
It was just so special.
Really.
Chris and I both really appreciated seeing our families and our extended families like hang out together and talk and have a good time.
Yeah.
You know, it's always a toss up with new people and different people that have just from different walks of life never met each other, but they all got along really well. We actually had a few people say that it was the best wedding they've been to in a while.
That was great.
Great to hear. Yeah, I just overall the whole thing went off without a hitch. I mean, everyone had a great time, drinks were flowing, good times were being had, great food, just all around, you know, 10 out of 10. Couldn't have asked for a better wedding. I did later on in the night change into a different dress because it was so fucking hot, and the dress, like I said, it was like 40 pounds. So I did change to a different white dress, and that was really great. Kept the heels on though.
And you threw your veil on.
Yeah, that's true. I kept the veil on, and I just changed into like a different dress, and I had like my hair down. So, or maybe it was in a ponytail or something. It was, yeah, it was just nice and like just a different look. Yeah. Which is what I wanted, thanks to John. And towards the end of the night, we just all kind of sat around outside under like the twinkly lights, the fairy lights, and had a great time. We all just chatted, and like, it was so wonderful. And we're also so lucky to have such wonderful family members, because that night people stayed up late to like clean, and the next day, of course, everyone was pitching in to move furniture, clean up, move things back. Like, they took pictures of where the furniture was initially, but like really went above and beyond. I can't say thank you enough to all of our family for just every little thing they did to help with this wedding.
Yeah, they did such an amazing job. I mean, I came downstairs, I helped set up the night before because I wanted to make sure it got done. But the day after, I came downstairs and people were already moving everything. Yeah. It was like a group of like 17 people.
We went downstairs at like 8 a.m.
We went down early and they were already up, and some people stayed up late and like washed all the dishes and got everything set up. I mean, people were up until 3 a.m. I guess, getting things set. it was so unbelievably sweet. We have such a great family, and that's one of the perks of having a small wedding, is that everybody's held accountable to be a part of the experience, and it just, as everyone chipped in, it was just perfect. It really was.
Yeah, so after everything was cleaned up, we headed on home. We decided to have a staycation instead of an actual honeymoon, going somewhere crazy and spending all kinds of money. We will eventually go to, like, I don't know, Japan, Europe, whatever. But as of right now, we're saving for a house. We just spent money on a wedding, so we just enjoyed ourselves.
We just spent all our money on a wedding.
Yeah, literally,
so,
literally.
Like, we don't have that much to do a honeymoon.
You know, we went to Chinatown. We got wonderful gifts and stuff from people that attended our wedding, which also helped the honeymoon and is also mostly going towards a down payment on a house. We went to Chinatown and we got some amazing food. We did other day trips.
Massages.
Oh my God, we got massages. We got deep tissue, like couples massage for 90 minutes. Amazing. Oh my God. So that was just great. You know, we just wanted like a week to not have work, not have anything. We just spent so much time and money focusing on this wedding and planning things, and it just was nonstop. So taking a week was so just phenomenal. We
really got to just lay out and enjoy our time. A lot of it was spent in this bed, hanging the heck out.
That's true.
It was really nice. And other things.
I did ask you on my Instagram to ask us any questions you have regarding our wedding. We had a lot of questions, but we're just gonna answer a couple here. The first one I have here is, were there any uncomfortable decisions you had to make while deciding who to invite? And honestly, no, at least for me. We invited people who we see constantly, our closest family members, and that is it. There
were a few cases where it was like, it could be nice to invite this person, but I mean, we're going to a wedding this year of somebody who invited us that we thought about inviting, but there was just not enough room. Like,
that's the thing.
Hard choices.
I will say, like, of course there were some people that we would have liked to invite, like that couple or other people, but it was 30 people.
They're like, having a 100-person wedding.
Us. Exactly.
And we had a 30.
What was the most expensive item in the wedding budget? Do you think that was probably the venue?
The venue was definitely the most expensive, but I think if it's not the place, it was your wedding dress.
Yeah. We need to see your wedding dress in all its splendor. You looked stunningly gorgeous. Thank you so much. I will put a picture or a couple pictures up right here so you can see all the details. It was so wonderful. It was made to my body. If you want to see where I got my dress, I do have, or actually Truly, Barcroft Media, Future Media, whatever, has a video of me choosing my wedding dress. I actually chose a different one than the one that I chose in that video, but it was the same location. And oh my God, it was the perfect dress. I want to wear it every day, but I can't. I want both of us to answer this question. What would 13-year-old you think?
Such a good question. 13-year-old me was in a house where, like, marriage wasn't going super great and there was a lot of fighting. And so, man, I did not think that I was going to get married, or if I was, that it was going to be a mess or an obligation, or, you know, I didn't really have much faith in the process. And so, I mean, I don't think my 13-year-old self would be able to comprehend what we have. I don't think it would make sense. It would feel like a facade or something, you know, it wouldn't feel real. And I can say, in the position that I'm in, that it is very real, and I can't believe we have what we have.
Yeah. I think my 13-year-old self would, I mean, be very happy for me. I transitioned at 14. I think especially at that age, right before I came out and started my transition, hearing that I had a wonderful wedding, that my family loves me and they were there with me, and I felt beautiful, and they all thought of me as beautiful and a beautiful bride. It was just, I would be so proud of myself. And I really, as we wrap up this video, I want to send a message to any trans girls out there. When I first started my transition, I had people warning me that it was going to be almost impossible to find love. That, you know, I'd find people that fetishized me or that, you know, just objectified me, but I would never find real love. And I'm living proof that, you know, you and I are in a very healthy, happy relationship. Very normal, you know, nothing that extraordinary about it other than the fact that we just love each other so much, and we work hard every day to show that to each other. I could not be more happy with the way that our life is going. I couldn't be more happy with the partner that we both chose.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to our future together. All right, that's gonna wrap up our wedding story time. Thank you so much for watching. Any videos that I mentioned here will be linked in the description box down below, and I will also link our wedding playlist as well as the song that I walked down the aisle to, just to kind of share the wealth if you're interested to see any other playlists that I make. By the way, it's on Spotify. You are all amazing. Thank you so much for joining us, and until we see you next week, good luck. I love you.